All right, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High and His only begotten Son. Call him La Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, great millstone, root teach well, while Baraka thumbs to the hopeful elect. All right, now today through the Spirit, I want to go into a video entitled "Police State." Right, and that's what Trump wants to do. That's what a lot of these ancient empires that Edomites ruled. That's the type of way they rule. They use the sword. And they use force and the military might. And Trump is getting ready to do the same thing, which is all according to the scriptures, prophecy. You see, and even like the technology they very easily have the ability to put us in a police state. You see, like for example, let me check this out. This AI overview. Is Palantir being used by the military? He says yes, Palantir is extensively being used in the U.S. military and other allied defense agencies. The company provides sophisticated data analysis and AI software to help with intelligence, counterterrorism, and operational needs. Right? And what is Trump deeming a lot of these immigrants to be? A terror to America. He's deeming them to be like a problem. You see? And then now we see him getting a lot of you Jakes too. Because y'all have a lot of Jakes are, doing fraud with certain things and they're they have a lot of they have a jacked up background. Trump's trying to eliminate a lot of the crimes, a lot of these niggas and stuff. So hey, he's gonna use this technology. It says they're or not him, but they're gonna be able to use this technology to track down a lot of people that they want to get. It says it has deep integration with the U.S. military and has been ongoing for years, with a notable expansion in recent times. You see, it says Project Maven, Palantir AI tools are a cornerstone of Project Maven, the Department of Defense program that uses AI to analyze drone and satellite footage to identify and track targets. So you're gonna use this shit, man. Army Titan, Palantir was selected to develop Army Tactical Intelligence Targeting Access Node, a ground station that uses AI to process data from various sensors for enhancing targeting and sentinel awareness. And it says Space Force contracts. The company has numerous contracts with the U.S. Space Force. And we already know about that SpaceX thing and all that, satellites and all that stuff that Elon Musk and those guys was dealing with. So they're going to use all this technology. You see, whenever the Lord puts in their spirit to fully crack down, they're going to use all this stuff. It says to provide data integration, analytics, and command and control capacities, man. Right? And now it's going to all the funding and all that stuff. But the point is, that police state is here. And we already see Trump is sending National Guard Washington, and now he's trying to get Chicago. He's trying to get all these places. And he's been talking like this. He's been talking in this cash money talk for a while, trying to get a lot of these Latin tribes out of here in America that aren't legal. And now he's coming for a lot of these criminals. You see, so this is a draconian measures coming with all the National Guard on the street. And then basically a lot of these governors that are signed with Trump are saying that if y'all migrants try and protest and do all that stuff, then he's gonna give his police the ability to just jack y'all ass up if y'all try and give drawback or y'all don't just give in and submit. But this is something that's been they've been had the power to do it. This insurrection deal. This is their Insurrection Act, which that's what Trump is basically initiating now. It says the Insurrection Act of 1807 in the U.S. federal law that empowers the President of the United States to nationally deploy U.S. military and federalize the National Guard units of individual states in specific circumstances, like a lockdown. It says such as suppression of civil disorder, of insurrection and armed rebellion. You see. Now let's go to the one where I was looking at. I had one where it says in 2025. Let's see, this is what I have right here. It says, following LA and DC, Trump wants to send National Guard to other U.S. cities. All right, let me get that Insurrection Act 2025. I had a little thing right here. Let's see. It was a little side thing, right? Let me see. How did I type that in? Let me see. See, look, check this out. It says, the act has been invoked in response to 30 incidents, the latest of which was in 1992 in Los Angeles riots. And he's damn near trying to do the same thing. Right? It says, the Insurrection Act empowers U.S. to deploy armed forces to suppress domestic violence or insurrection when a state is unable or unwilling to enforce the law to protect citizens or constitutional rights. While the act was not recently invoked, it can be applied today in situations such as statewide insurrection, a breaking of law enforcement, the ability to enforce federal laws when a state fails to protect its citizens' rights from violence. And he's basically coming in that same format right now, trying to send National Guard to ultimately to subdue a lot of crime. And you got a lot of governments they're not agreeing with that shit. And they're saying that they don't want to be law enforcement in Chicago. Because really Esau really they create a lot of that stuff that Jake be doing, a lot of that stuff, they really create issues. They be letting a lot of them cartel niggas over here and stuff. But ultimately, we understand that, the top elite are running everything, and the top elite, they like to deceive everybody. That's how they get their power. Their power is in deceit to make it be as seem as if they're for the people, but they're really not. But a lot of these crimes, all these stuff that be going on, they're in control of that. They giving niggas weapons. They allowing them niggas to come over here. They working with the cartel, a lot of the cartels and all that stuff. You see, so we all know what's up. But at the end of the day, they're gonna still come down with great wrath, and that it's gonna be a police state. And we already know it's starting off with the immigrants, that situation, but it's gonna get worse. Which leads to this precept right here. This is Second Ezra 15, in verse 17. It says, let me see. I'm gonna read verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." And sword is an instrument to destroy. And that's what people are gonna get ready to take up because stuff is getting bad out here. A lot of things are going to be unaffordable. People aren't going to be able to afford their lifestyle. AI is taking people's jobs. You see that a lot of these Latin tribes, their family members are getting kicked out of here, so people are going to start rousing up, right? As life gets, the tribulation ramps up. It says that one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, shooting each other, killing. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Which you see a lot of protesting and a lot of that, which a lot of it is fake. And he saw his youth setting up people to do that, so that way he can just have an excuse to come and kill a lot of you people. So that protesting shit is off, you know. But Esau has a lot of Israelites doing it like that set up, so that way he can have a reason to fuck you niggas up, man. But what's the point though? This is verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able." So that's what he's getting ready to do. It's gonna be You're gonna be wanting to go get food and go to certain places, and they ain't gonna have it in a lockdown position, a lockdown state. Especially when they start mandating this, especially when the MOTB gets mandated. Anybody that's against that, they gonna be ready to throw your ass in the EMA camp, and it's gonna get crazy. You see? So this is all in the scriptures. We're in the beginning stages of it though. All right, let's go here. This is the Greek Empire, and they were in that same type of spirit Trump is in. First Mac 1 In verse 41, it says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, right? Conform to his way. And Esau wants us to conform it to what is NWO. And Antiochus, that he came under the Seleucid Empire. They call it Antiochus Epiphanes, man. And he was killing Israelites for, circumcising their children and keeping the Sabbaths in spirit. You see Israel doing the same thing now. We're coming to repentance, circumcising our hearts, putting on as being, the true Israelites, the true sons of God. And then Esau never wanted us to do that shit. So now he's going to come down. It says, and that everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. But guess what? You got that Isaiah 10 and 20. The remnant is going to not stay upon him that smote him no more. And Esau wants everybody to be in subjection unto him. So he's getting ready to come down with great wrath. Just like Antiochus, Esau's getting ready to do that shit now. Coming in the format of we see right now. And when you jump down, it says here, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die. And I mean, they were basically trying to get Jake to go and worship those idols, be up in those temples, doing false illicit sexual acts, temple harlots and orgies and all types of madness they were trying to get Israel to do and worship those false idols. And if you didn't want to do that, then they was ready to put you to death. And that's what Esau's getting ready to do right now. You see? I want to get right here. Because this is all going into that martial law. Esau's going to come down with great wrath and with military. It says, 2 Ezra 16 and 70 says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Those that are in his truth are going to be under attack. Because you're not going for this NWO, which is going to be AI, the MOTB. You see this dystopian society where, everybody is all men trying to be this opposite thing and merge with robot and all types of madness. Like, if you're not with this new society that Esau is pushing, he's going to deem you as an enemy. He's going to be ready to put you to death. You see? So it's going to be a great attack upon people. And people ain't ready for it. I want to end off with this. It's Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. You see, all you people that's here in the soils of Babylon the Great America, it means woe and destruction. It says, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. These top elites is putting signals for them to hurry up and do shit, because they know that their time is running out. So that police state is real close. And that military, it's only going to ramp up. We're in the beginning stages of it. This is nothing right now. He put National Guard and little stuff like that. Even when we had the lockdown, that was nothing. They're really, for the Lord's going to put the spirit on them to really, really, really lock in. Especially when, as this war ramps up too, and they might have some sleeper cells, do some crazy terrorist thing, and they go try and blame us, and it's gonna get bad out here. That's just me speaking as a man, but that could very easily happen. As this war is still going on, they could have some crazy ass shit like that happen, like something like 9/11, and then now he he already got National Guard being sent everywhere. Just lock this thing down. You see? So we're in that time, man. But anyways, Lord willing, is edified. I like to end it all by saying, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Debar to the apostles and others, great millstone, rule, teach well. Next time, come Shalom.